Hey guys, I don't normally make these update kind of videos, but I just thought I would for this Barrows update which has happened today, because Barrows has always been one of the few mini games that I've ever, enjoyed or even done really, and ever since I was maybe 80 combat, I've always done it every so often, and it used to be one of the ways that I did make money when I first got members. So I thought it was pretty cool that they was giving it a revamp and updating the scenery around it, and especially all the armour. So what you can see on screen now is just how it used to look, and that's just a standard Barrows run, just in case anyone watching is a skiller or just new to members or something and hasn't seen it. And even though the graphics were pretty boring, it still is, I think, one of the better looking areas from the original part of the game. And I was kind of sad to see it be changed, because all the armours, back in maybe 2007, Barrows armour was the armour to have. It wasn't Bandos, it wasn't Torva. So to see them changed, I was really hoping that they'd make them all look a lot better. So as you can see, which is just coming on screen now, is the armours and how they used to look, again just in case you haven't seen, and then you can have a bit of a compare from how they used to look earlier today and how they currently look. So the Barrows armour that's on screen now, it also gives you just a quick chance to see how it looked in the inventory, because the inventory icons for it do also change. And whilst I think the inventory icons do look a lot better than they used to do, I wonder if you'll agree with me, but I do think the armour, how they've changed it, it isn't as good as the old, but maybe that's just because I prefer the older armour. That's why I'm always in Dragon and stuff like that. But as you can see now, just logging in after the update, I brought all of the armour with me to Barrows to see what it looked like, and you can see instantly from the start off, all the icons are different. The Verax armour that I'm wearing at the minute, especially with the flail, I don't have a clue why it's got a green orb in the middle, but they have. And one thing I will just say is, if you do go now, it is really quite laggy at the minute, and I'm pretty sure it isn't just for my account and my internet. You can see when I try and change outfits, it takes about 5 seconds to equip the legs and the weapon. But just going through the armour, I think some of it does look quite cool, but the plate legs especially, they're kind of similar for all of their brothers, and looking at it, especially just the armour, if you don't look at the weapon, I think it's kind of hard to tell which armour it is, which I don't think is as good as it was. But again, maybe that's just me, and maybe the fact that I prefer the older armour because, I've been playing this game for a bit longer than, well, most people. So I'm especially surprised that they changed the accuracy armour, because that were released quite recently, but I guess they didn't want to update it and give away the fact that they were going to be doing a new Barrows Revamp. So now you can see the difference in the armour. You can also see the difference in the actual Barrows trip. Now, one thing I will just point out first is that they have put spades on each of the mounds, which I think is just a great little addition. So you really don't need to bring your own spade anymore, which is pretty good and pretty handy. So one thing that I did notice after I'd killed Darok is the fact that his level had increased, so he's now level 196, and for the other brothers, as far as I'm aware, they've all changed levels, so maybe Barrows will be a tiny bit harder, which I think is quite good, but maybe that's just because I'm a higher level and I find it a bit more easy than I used to. So maybe it'll be harder in the future, I'm not sure, but I just thought that was quite cool that they'd updated the levels as well. So as you can see in the crypts as well, they've changed that completely. I think they look awesome now, and a lot better than they used to do. So they've kind of won me over with the scenery, because I'm not that much of a fan of the new armour. And one thing I will just say is, there are a few glitches at the minute, like the marking arrow that goes over the brother's head will sometimes appear over the wrong brother, especially when you're down at the chest, and for me personally it was seeming really quite laggy, and I'm pretty sure that was server lag and not just my lag, and I did get an error game crash from it, so you might just want to watch out if you're doing it right now. But apart from that, I'm pretty impressed with how the scenery and how the area looks, especially when you're down in the actual tunnels, which you can see right now. So for the actual tunnels, the area is still the same kind of shape, The only difference that it really has is the fact that it's a bit harder to tell which door you can open, or at least I was thinking that, because before there'd be a slightly different shade. But apart from that, I think the area is looking quite good. As you can see now, the chest's changed in the centre, and I think the chest looks a lot better and a lot more mysterious, like it's supposed to be. And unfortunately I did get this lag here and I did DC, so I'm just going to have to cut a bit of this out, which I will do now. So now I'm at the centre. I'm just about to kill Carol out of the chest and then loot it, and you can see there's quite a lot of people here at the minute, and that's because if you're not aware, you can currently get double items and double runes, and there's about a 10% chance of that happening, as well as getting unique items, one of which is the draconic visage. So if anyone gets anything cool like that, then please do leave a comment and just say what you got. So my overall opinion on it, I think the new armour is a bit of a letdown. It does look cool, but it all kind of looks the same. The area itself looks very impressive, and I'm kind of pleased that it did happen overall. And again, I know this isn't the kind of video I normally do, but if you did enjoy it or anything, just leave me a bit of feedback and that'll be great. And apart from that, I hope you enjoy the new update, and I'll see you on the next video.